I do. I have a 5950. Yeah, Tom, that's about right for a 3090. Because my graphics card is currently drawing 250 watts. I have a little toolbar. If you install MSI Afterburner, you can have it show in your taskbar. 260 watts it's currently drawing, my 3090, according to MSI Afterburner. No, you literally don't. Psychomatic. If my PC is on, I do not need heating in this room. I'm not joking. In fact, if anything, I need to cool the room down. That PC will quite nicely warm this room up. Anyway, landing lights are coming on now. All the lights have come on. Backs, get back in the seats. Does each new GPU generation increase in efficiency? They do and they don't. They increase in efficiency, but they also increase in power. Because every generation of card, the expectation is gets faster and faster and faster and faster, right? That's the way it always is. So if you, what happens is, if you make something more efficient, well then that's more power I can draw. I'm generating less heat for the amount of work I'm doing, therefore I can do more work. Therefore I can make my graphics card faster. So they, you know, it's never going to go down the power draw, not really. So this should be the north side of the island, which I've been to. I need to go back to New York. I've not been for years. Pretty good weather. Like I say, this is the less exciting approach. It's still a nice approach, it's not as fun. Nice one, Ibanez. Which case did you go for? Okay, 1009er pressure set. For sure. on the spoilers, low brake, landing lights on, taxi lights on. All flaps 1 now. A little bit messy on the VNAV. Approach phase activated. It's a bit bumpy. Two. No, there's no force feedback yet. Localizer glide slope. I think the climate was 5,000. Just coming up on 10 DME. Those engines are not that noisy in real life, but hey ho. There is in GA, Alex, but not in something like this. Not really. You're right now. Lol. Coming down. Lamps are going to full. Okay, landing gear down checked, autopilot's on. Auto thrust fine, landing memo no blue. Spoiler's been verified. Like a very bumpy approach right now. We'll go manual. Yeah, I printed them out yesterday. Ibanez.
1,000.
Found a decent one online, then just laminated it. And then people in chat like, well, you've got to check this built into the AFB. I'm like, yeah, I have. But I'd rather have it here in front of me. Slight left to right wind. I mean, it's quite handy just having the paper and then you can do other things on the tablet. That put me right off profile, that did.
$500.
A bit bumpy.
$100 above. Minimum 100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard.
It's 80 knots. We'll take that. Perhaps the spoilers retracted. I don't know, Spider. I think there is a replay function, but I haven't tried it in a long time. Right, landing lights come off. Tax light can stay on. Let's fire up the APU. It's not them, is it? Waiting for me though. Is that the guy? I can't tell if that's them or not. I hardly flared. I did. I definitely flared. Maybe you didn't see it. We got to 50 at reduced power. We got to about 30. I flared it. We came in, landed nicely. Not really sure what orientation they want me here. Is he going to put his arms up at any point? Dude, I don't know what you're telling me. I'm not pulling any more forward than that. That's all you're getting out of me. forward stairs, I think. Did me putting the stairs down stop it from coming in, do you think? Let me try this. If I do that... No, I think that's at its limit. That's really weird. The yellow line is clearly here. It told us to come here, but that jetway doesn't come out enough. That is kind of odd. Any predictions on the F1? I predict a train. With a few people going into the barrier. Okay, welcome to Mallorca. I don't know why my lights are still on because I turned them all off, but whatever. Oh, it doesn't turn that one off, does it? For some reason, the Honeycomb Alpha, the beacon light doesn't operate the beacon light. And the landing lights do the landing lights, but then there's a weird interaction with the taxi. But the runway turn off, there's literally no button for the runway turn off. Yeah, it's a drone cam. Nice glasses. It's a shame this stuff doesn't work properly yet. I kind of miss the whole GSX experience. There's quite a bit of texturing detail though. Chance of rain at Monaco. If it rains, it will be an absolute mess. Like the narrow track, the spray, the speeds. It'll be a mess if it rains. Right then, where are we going next? Isn't GPO a mess? It's not a mess so much. I mean, people do make mistakes, but in the rain they really do make mistakes. Okay. Palma. Gibraltar. This will be fun. Wait, what? Departing out of runway 24 right. Arrivals on left then, departures on right. Is that how they operate? Arrival on 27 at Gibraltar. Popular opinion, but Monaco is the most boring track. Pole starts is 90% guaranteed to win. Then you know nothing about F1. I think Monaco is like has a deep F1 history, so there's a lot of people don't want to see it go. Equally, you have to kind of consider that it's a very narrow track. It's very hard to overtake, and cars are pretty darn fast now. If F1's goal is to make F1, you know, exciting and a lot of battles, then Monaco doesn't really deliver on that. But to take it out the calendar would be to rip out, you know, one of the kind of linchpins of F1 tracks. So it is a very difficult decision either way. And yeah, I don't know. I think they'll renew their contract, but who knows? Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is like cars have got wider and it just makes overtaking even more difficult. I'll never forget, you know, the Senna-Mansell race. And Mansell had new tyres. And Senna just brake checked him all the way around the track for like 20 laps. And by the time Mansell got out, he was completely exhausted and nearly fainted. You know, because he'd just been concentrating and trying so hard to get past Senna with a quicker car and better tyres, and he couldn't, because Monaco doesn't allow you to do that. If you want to brake check people all the way around the track, you can do it. So even back then, that's like in the 90s, even back then it was turning into a train. We're going to go fly over the top of Valencia. And it looks like we're going straight in. That's a shame. Would have been nice to do the circle approach, wouldn't it? Using default Gibraltar scenery, so I don't know how good it's going to be. There's a couple of options here, that one and that one, and they're just so vastly different, aren't they? I don't know. To see the delta of position changes versus other tracks. Yeah, I've not looked at the data. But, you know, when it was originally conceived, the cars were narrow and I think overtaking was probably a lot more common. Don't know, yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was that thing with Silverstone a few years ago where they said they couldn't afford it. Everybody knew Silverstone was not going to be dropped. Like, you just can't. It's such a good track, Silverstone. You cannot drop it, and it has a massive history with F1. But equally, they just keep, you know, the cost of things just keep going up and up and up. Right, 370. Mallorca to Gibraltar, 6.4 tons. 24 right departure. So yeah, I don't know. Don't expect to see Monaco disappear anytime soon. I don't think. Still stood there. What a legend. Yeah, Monaco in the sim is just an absolute mess. Can we refresh the flight, please? better. It's a nice iPod, yeah. You can even pull the power out, and then the battery starts depleting. It's quite funny. Is it possible to use debrief? Yeah, you can manually input the route completely. Not a problem. Just saves you having to do it, but you can sit here and do that. No problem at all. Watching without video, didn't know it was a thing. Yeah, you can just listen. Two 4 rights is our departure, going out of Palmer to Alpha. Just that one. Cycle these back again. Yep, it's pretty much as expected. No discos there. Can I briefly explain the cost index number? As I understand it, it's a number that goes between 0 and 100. And the higher the number, the more efficient they're trying to be. So the dispatchers calculate it based on a lot of things. But if you need to get somewhere quickly, you want a very low number. If you want a higher number, then it instructs the aircraft to basically be a bit leaner on the fuel. You know what I mean? Not to focus on power and speed over fuel efficiency. So, you know, at cruise, it'll back off slightly and take a bit longer to get there, but save fuel. Have you landed on every runway in this game? I think that's probably an impossibility. Cost index also takes into account the cost of the crew. Okay, didn't know that. How does that work? Yeah, I'm doing okay, Droid, yeah. Taking the time getting on board, aren't I? Currently offline, 0 official. I'll probably go on VATSIM at some point, see how we get on. This is the way around, fair enough. Higher cost means less fuel efficient or higher speeds. Right, okay. So a lower number means more efficient. Okay. When are you scheduled to fly? We're loading packs right now. See? See, planned, boarded. It's not my fault they take the time getting on board and putting the things in the overhead bin and sitting down and putting the belts on, getting the sweets out, putting the magazines in the back of somebody else's chair, pulling on the chair like that, adjusting things. You know what I mean? This is what people do. Faff around. Don't forget the peanuts. They're already on board. I've had one cup of tea, yeah. See, the fuel's loaded. 6.4 tons. Got that on board. I'm not surprised, Ibanez. Guitar Man, thank you for 21 months. Hope everyone's doing well. Going on a proper flight next week to the USA for the first time for a while. Nice. Post-COVID flying. You're the reason I love Yorkshire tea. Oh. 56.4, 30.3. Done. Okay, so 26 right is going to be a taxi down Juliet, is that? Turn right. We can go and hold at H1 or something. Hammer 2 Alpha. To Alpha is that one. Yeah, straight out of a Pama, flight level 100 or above. Up 24 right, 1 plus F, packs on. $36, $40, $40 and $68. Is that 30? 60. Flaps 1, flight plan page over there. the APU's up. Available. Disconnect the ground power. Seatbelt sign can go on now. I have got a pilot's license, Big Boss, but only a GA one, not a commercial one. What was it doing? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Connect the tug. Gonna have to push back to the left, I believe. Zero trim. Release the parking brake. Old Joe. Let's see if this tug gives up on me again. Oh, I forgot the bleed. How can you have so much patience for this kind of game? I don't think patience and a game necessarily goes hand in hand. It's more about you as a personally. If you don't have any patience, the game's not going to teach you that. Well, it might, if you have the patience to persevere. Yeah, there's a few interesting characters in chat right now, pups, in case you haven't noticed. Okay, let's get back to that page. We're on live weather, 6 stacking, so whatever the weather's doing right now at Palmer, that's what we've got. So yeah, if it suddenly starts getting rainy, that's what we'll get. If it gets windy, we'll get windy. Yeah, Asher, we don't discuss politics and religion, so we just remove the conversation, move on, enjoy the gaming and stuff. It inevitably leads to arguments. Okay, APU bleed, come off. If the other one gets hold off what the person's talking about. I don't know what the start of the conversation looked like, I'll be honest, but yeah. Right, APU's off, mode selector's back to normal. Let's get some stuff done here. Radio got set for departure, flight directors are on, auto brake to the max, elevator trim. I did not look at what the departure trim looked like. Wow, 0, completely neutral. Completely neutral. All looks good. Taxi lights can come on. Takeoff memo is no blue. Juliet is over here, I think. Never thought it would be so what, Grubby? Contentious? It's not contentious. What happens is you go on the front page of Twitch, right? So lots of people see you that otherwise haven't seen you before. And they wander into chat. They don't understand your chat rules, they don't read them. They don't understand what your channel's about. They behave as they normally behave. So we're not being contentious, just got a couple of people passing through that just need to calm down a little bit. Just enjoy the stream. Udium, if you look at the top of the screen, it tells you what our departure and arrival looks like. And if you don't know what the codes are, run the route command, it tells you where we're going. That's very true, Woody Rover, but some people don't like being told what to do. Even when you ask them politely to say, don't do that, or can you stop that, can we move on, like, just carry on. That's just people for you. Fair enough, Darth Henry, fair enough. I did, you dummy, I did see that loot. Yeah, that was hilarious, Yodamai. Did anybody see that? That Luton prank? Like, somebody near Gatwick Airport, somebody basically drew out a massive sign that said, "Welcome to Luton." Like, near Gatwick, on the approach to Gatwick, they put, "Welcome to Luton." And there were people on the plane who looked out the window and saw this big sign that said, "Welcome to Luton." They got freaked out. They thought we were in the wrong airport. And it was a YouTuber doing a prank. Oh my god. I can see though how it would freak some people out, like, but even so, that is amazing. It's a million subs over it. Fair play. can't, you know, I can't knock the guy for that one. We've got plenty of runway, we'll just go here. Right, 24 right. Identified, we will put on all the lights. Overhead looks clean. Transponder. T8 IRA. No blue on the eCam. They're switched off at the moment, Doc Nader. You can inject live planes if you want to. The problem is you then have to deal with the ATC side of it so that you don't land on the runway as some AI planes about to take off, things like that. Or you can just fly on VATSIM or something, or IVAL. Thrust is set. Knots. There's V1. Positive right, gears coming up. Just chucking the auto so you have a quick look out the window. Flying power set. Oh, lovely departure that is. Bring up the flaps. So the slats on the front of the wing retracting. That's Palmer over there, Magaluf area. That's where you go when you're a teenager, nightclubbing and drinking all through the night, sleeping through the day. Jump back in the cabin. Tax light come off, runway tail light come off, land light stay on for now. Flying in an old UK livery from the 90s called Air Tours. They, I think, got folded into Thomas Cook in the early 2000s, if I remember, but I could be wrong about that. But it's like a retro livery, basically. That's just straight out, that is, that climb. Straight over the water. I think it got folded into something else, and then that got folded into Thomas Cook. It's somewhere along those lines. Well, I'd have to Google it. I give it 8 months, Ibanez. Was it first choice? I remember them being around. They got like bought out and renamed. Airtels became first choice, and then first choice became TUI, right? So it wasn't Thomas Cook then? I thought it was Thomas Cook. That is a spectacular view. You can see all the holiday hotspots down here. Yeah, we're flying IRL time, IRL weather. Everything's 1-to-1 scale. Probably at 10k now, aren't we? The packs run free. Ecam memos. Airsource became Thomas Cook. Britannia became TUI. Oh, so it was Thomas Cook then. I was going to say, because TUI fly Boeings, don't they? Oh, the Balearics. I love the Balearics. Yeah. Bye-bye Mallorca. No, I do not have failures enabled. Still on the Apama departure, and it says at Apama you have to be above flight level 100, and we're like 17,000 feet already. We was expecting Gibraltar runway 27 is what we're expecting, direct in. Let's have a look at what the weather's doing. Yep, that's quite a strong wind. More or less down the nose on 27. A few clouds at 3,000 feet scattered. It should be quite an interesting approach. Wait, I don't know what that means. Does anybody know what that means? Remark blue, blue. Blue, blue. What's the significance of blue, blue? So definitely coming in on 27 anyway. It's a boy group. Blue is for military. Oh, okay. So that means what? That it's currently code blue from a military perspective? Military visibility stuff. Well, why is it? Fair enough. Arrivals civilian. Look at this. Arrivals military. Arrivals civilian. Up and up above 3,000. Right, 27 civilian. Looks like that. Nautical miles out. Doesn't even give you a suggested altitude here. Radar vectors to Point Yankee. 3 nautical miles out of Yankee. Civilian aircraft coming on 27, military coming on 281. Look at that. That's pretty neat. Okay, let's see what the MCDU thinks about this. Is there any fire? No fire. Okay, so what that looks like then. So it's got a disco from PMOS to CF. Right, there's PMOS and then it's basically straight into that point. There's 5 nautical miles out from the runway. Mandatory 1,520 feet is what it's saying. All travellers are online. Who goes to a brick and mortar to book a holiday? No, you'd be surprised, JCC. You would be surprised how many go to agencies. You know, you can, particularly people who are not really sure where they want to go, looking for advice, taking on board the travel agency's experience. Oh, have you thought about this? You could do that. If you like this kind of thing, maybe this one. They can pull brochures out, show you hotels. It's just so much easier than just going online and guessing. So don't think that everybody does it online. They don't. $1,510, so it's got that punched in as well. Missed approach climb to 4,000 as directed by radar, so we'll just have to vector ourselves back around. Okay. Pretty much set well. Have a good one, Grubby. We should be about to see Valencia ahead. Spain. Almost a cruise. You've never booked a holiday online. A lot of travel agencies you talk to have actually been to the resorts you might be interested in. That is very true. that in. Madrid. I need to get an airport for Madrid. Does anybody know a decent one? Microsoft Flight Sim airport for Madrid. Who makes one? Wouldn't mind having an airport in the middle of Spain. It's quite handy when you're sort of trying to hop around. Shops are dying off, travel agents aren't what they used to be. Shops are dying off, that was inevitable. But they won't die away completely. There are still many things that are just easy to do in person than they are online. For example, like I don't buy shoes and trainers online. Footwear, I don't do it. I go to a shop, I try it on physically. How does it feel? How does it look? What is the right size? Because a 9 or a 10 or whatever size is not consistent across different footwear. It's just not. And it's either that or you just order loads of them online and send them all back. I just offered a decent one for P3D. Yeah, I don't know, D22. Not looked. Buy the same ones every time. You see, I would do the same thing with Skechers, except Skechers don't, like if you buy a pair of shoes from Skechers, in a year or two's time when you need some more, they don't have them anymore. They make a different model. They're constantly like changing the models. A 14, flipping that dude. You got big feet. Like you can do groundwork. You can look on the website to see what kind of shoes or clothes they have, and then go into the shop and try and find it, and see if you actually like it IRL. You can do that as well. But generally speaking, I don't like going shopping, so I try not to do it. But with shoes, I have to do it. It's got to be pups. It's got to be UK or US size in inches. Size 14 isn't that big. What, Alex? In inches, mate. Like, isn't EU sizing 40 something, 50 something? I don't know. You're in EU 47. 14 is big for a UK size as well, D-Storm. I think it just has big feet. You think 45 is there a 10.5 or 11? Is it? EU47 is a UK size 12. Yeah, so a UK size 14 must be an EU 50 plus. And Alex thinks then that's not big. No, I don't have a mod for window views. You have a size 10, 11 UK, and you get told you have big feet. Are you like a fully grown adult male? Are you a teenage female? It's hard to say whether your feet are big without knowing anything about you. I don't think so, Alex. That's not right. You're a size... Pups, you've got big feet for your size. Your feet are massive. You're always size 10, that's sold out. Trying to find a foot size chart. Why is it so hard? International shoe size conversion chart. Here we go. Let's try this one. Shoe size conversion charts for USA to UK, European, Australian, Japanese shoe sizes. So UK is on the left, EU is on the right, USA in the middle. So a 14 is a 49, according to this. Women's different. According to this, a 14 to 49. See, I'm about here, depending on what shoe I get. I'm like a 9-10-ish. So I'm about a 44, 43 EU, depending. Pup says he's a 9, but really he should be about a 5, which means he's got massive feet. Massive feet. He could be a 9 in kid size, yeah. That could be it. Maybe that's what it is. The Madrid airport you mentioned above also has city edition to the download. Sorry, I missed that, Ibanez. What did you say? Was that the Aerosoft one for P3D? LatinVFR.com. People setting fireworks off? I have no idea. On a Sunday morning or afternoon, what the heck?